Hi guys, I'm so excited for today's video because today we are going to be talking about the new collection from Odens Eye, and this is actually another collab with Angelica. I will have her launch video and everything down below so you can go watch her reveal this on her own. And I don't know all the full information about the launch of this. All I know is I'm allowed to post about this after the 18th, so I'm not sure exactly when this is launching, so go watch her video and I will have the information down below in my description box for the actual launch times, because as of when I'm filming this video, I just don't know. But I want to show you all of the products that are in the collection. I also want to show you looks and swatches and all the good stuff. So I think we should just go ahead and get into this. I'm so excited for this collection. When I first got my PR box and I opened these palettes, I was like, wow, these are so cool. So first up, we have the Little Ghost palette, which is a 16 pan palette, which both of these are 16 pans, and this is a very much a, I would say, Halloween color story. You have like your purples and your yellows and your oranges, and it's just a really fun color story that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy playing with. The other palette here is the Trick or Treat palette, which is more of the warm tone version with like some oranges and some dark browns, some greens. Also a really fun color story. If you're someone who is into more neutrals, I think you would probably like this palette a little bit more, but in general, I think these palettes are really fun and I'm excited to play more with them. I'm going to show you 3 looks in this video. I'm sure Angelica is going to show you quite a bit as well. And I know other people are going to get this collection in PR, but this is simply all I have time for right now. So what I've done is I've already filmed one look with each of the palette, which I will have at the end of the video. And then I'm going to do one look where I kind of combine the palettes and use the shades in the palettes that I feel like I haven't used yet that I really want to use. The collection also comes with 5 lip products. So there are a couple of different formulas here that are new to Odens Eye. First up, we have the matte formulas, and these are kind of like the Kaleidos lip clays. They're very similar. The first shade here is a shade called Swamp Fog, which is sort of an orangey, how would I even explain it? It's like an orangey brown kind of, but I don't know. It's a very unique color. I think it's really pretty. It's very Angelica. The other color is the shade called Shadow Creature, which is a beautiful, it looks kind of like brown in the tube, but when you put it on, it's definitely a red. So a very unique red. I think also really pretty color. There are also 2 lip glosses in this collection, which are called the Shine formula. So first up, we have Quicksand, which is a very interesting sort of yellowy brownie gloss, which unlike anything that I have in my collection, I don't know how much I'll be using that shade personally. It's a little not something that I normally reach for, but I think it's a cool color to have in a collection like this. The one that I'm wearing right now actually is the shade called Spectral. I do have it on with a lip liner from Natasha Denona, and this is definitely my favorite color in this collection. It's a very pretty, just like brownie nude gloss. It's got quite a bit of pigment to it. It's not 100% opaque or anything like that, but I like the opacity of these glosses. I think they're really nice. They're very comfortable. They're not sticky. And I've been playing around with this formula for a while now, and I find them very comfortable. So I don't really have any complaints with this one. The last one here is one called Glow, and I'm not exactly sure like what this is. It kind of feels like a mix between a lip oil and a lip balm, and it's got very little pigment to it, so it's very much like a moisturizing kind of thing that you'd have next to you on your desk, more so than something you'd put on to go out. At least for me, like I prefer something with a little more color if I'm gonna like, you know, have it as part of my makeup look. But I feel like this formula is more of a just kind of like chilling around the house, or like you just want to have something easier on your lips that you don't need a mirror to apply with. I would say this is that kind of formula. Really like it though. I think it's very comfortable again, and it's fun to see Odens Eye come out with some new lip products again, because it's been a while, and I feel like this is a little more current maybe, and more just kind of what like the cool brands are doing right now. But I think these are really nice, and I'm excited to do another look with these palettes. The collection also comes with a scarf, which most of the collabs do, but I'm not sure if this is going to be included in everybody's package. I'm guessing like the first 100 people or something to order will probably get this included in their package. And in my PR box was also these 2 keychain thingies, which I don't know exactly what these are. I'm sorry, but they're very cute. Thought I would just show them to you anyway. So I think that's gonna be it for like the actual products. I want to go ahead and show you them on now. So we're gonna go ahead and prime with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base like I always do, and I do definitely have a couple of shades in these palettes that I really want to use still that I just have not been able to dig into. So I'm excited. There are so many cool colors in these palettes. And you guys know I love Odens Eye's formula, so there's absolutely no surprise that I like these palettes so far. And this review is probably slightly biased because I also love Angelica. I don't think there's been a video from her in the past like 2 years that I haven't watched. Like, I pretty much watch all of her videos and I really enjoy her content, and it's just something that's like nice to have on in the background in the morning. So I'm pretty familiar with her makeup style and her preferences and what she likes, and I feel like that's very obvious in these palettes that these are, you know, made by her, if you want to put it that way. So my main focus for this look is going to be the shimmer in the Ghost palette, the little Ghost palette, which is going to be this one, which is such an interesting, like, goldy, peachy, reddy multi-chrome. It's absolutely stunning and I have not used it yet, so I'm thinking I want to do just sort of a corally, pinky purpley crease, maybe something like that. I kind of want to test out this shade as well in my inner corner, so I think I'm going to start with this one, which is the shade called Banana Taffy, and I'm basically just going to heavily pack this into my inner corner and see how well this shows up. That is such a beautiful yellow shade. It definitely shows up a little bit warmer on the eye, but I feel like since I don't have a white base down, that's just kind of bound to happen. This reminds me very much of the shade that was in Lauren's palette last time, except that this is a matte and not a satin shade, but the color is very, very, very similar. I'm next going to take the shade called Candy Corn, which is also in the same palette. I'm going to move into the other palette after I'm done with this one, but I want to use this as my transition shade for kind of the rest of my crease here, because I want to make sure that whatever I do in my crease is going to go nicely with that shimmer that I want to use on my lid. I'm going to take some of this shade underneath my eye as well. Just connect this in the outer corner, and then we'll go in with a darker shade to deepen this up with. And for that, I think I want to take the shade called Candy Apple in the other palette. So basically this pure red shade. I want to see just how like actual red this is, because it does look like it leans definitely on the red side and not on the pink side. So it's more of like an orangey red. Yeah, definitely more of an orangey red. I like that a lot. I think that is such a pretty color. So we'll see if I want to go in and deepen this up any further once I'm done with this shade. It's doing a really good job at deepening up. I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily need more depth than this, but maybe I'll go in with a darker shade just so we can test out one more. But I guess just for the sake of science, let's take the shade called, should I use this one or this one? I think I'm gonna go with this one. This is the shade called Vampire Fangs, I think. It's a little hard to see because the font is quite small. I'm gonna go ahead and just put some of that in the very outer corner of my eye. I really don't want to cover up all of this red shade because it's so pretty and I want it to still like look red, but I just want a little bit more depth just in the very outer corner. Taking the tiniest bit of this and just bring it underneath my eye so that I connect it to the lower lash line. Just quickly going to put on some of my NYX glitter primer where I want my shimmers to go. And I can't wait to use this shade. So I'm gonna grab this one, which is the one called Magical, and I have a feeling, I know why it's called Magical, because it probably is. So I'm basically just going to put this all over my lid is going to be the plan. And we'll see, I'll probably do something else in my inner corner, even though there aren't really any shimmers that I feel like are light enough to be inner corner shades in these palettes, but I know that's because Angelica prefer matte inner corner highlights and I prefer shimmers. So like the lightest shades in these palettes tend to be mattes, which isn't really my favorite, but again, that's just like a personal preference thing. But that is so pretty. That is absolutely stunning. Yeah, I really like that. That is beautiful. So I'm gonna grab the only lightest shimmer that I feel like is an inner corner shade. I guess both of these would be an inner corner shade for me, but I'm gonna take the yellow one up in the corner here, which I have used actually. Let's go ahead and use this one just because I haven't used it. I feel like it'll be light enough still to be an inner corner shade, especially layered over the top of that yellow. I am gonna spray this a little bit with some Fix Plus though. And I'm basically just going to layer that over the yellow in the inner corner because like I said many times, I do prefer having a shimmery inner corner highlight. Oh, that is so pretty. That actually works really well. So in this palette, I would say for me, there are 3 inner corner highlights, whereas in the other one, there aren't really any that I would prefer using as an inner corner highlight, just because the lightest shade is like a matte and like a matte satiny shade. Yeah, this is actually doing exactly what I wanted to do. That is absolutely stunning. So I think I'm just gonna leave it here with this look. I'm gonna quickly finish off with some liners, mascara, and lashes. So the look is all done. I didn't do anything crazy to finish off. I did some yellow in my waterline, and I'm just realizing I did not put mascara on my lower lashes. And I'm like, should I do that? I should probably do that. But I used the yellow from About Face, like I said, in my waterline. And I also did a little bit of brow bone highlight with the Noctilucent palette that I also have on my face as my highlighter. And I'm pretty sure my lashes are the Dreamer lashes from Unicorn Cosmetics. Now, let me go ahead and show you the other 2 looks that I've done with these palettes as well. The first palette that I played with was the Little Ghost palette, and I really wanted to play with some of the blues and the purples because they just looked so pretty. So I did a little combination between like a blue and a purpley look, and I think that it turned out really pretty. And so far, this is the good Odens Eye quality that we're all used to. If you've used a brand before, this is exactly what you're expecting, and what you are expecting is what you're gonna get. So if you like Odens Eye as a brand, there's no doubt in my mind that you're gonna love these palettes, because this is, you know, the formula that we're all used to. And I think everything is really nice so far. I'm also really impressed with the lip products. I think that the formulas on those are really nice as well. And I like the colors that she chose, even though they're colors that maybe I wouldn't have picked myself. It's fun to have something a little bit different in my collection. For the look I did with the Trick or Treat palette, I wanted to play with the green shades because they looked so pretty, and that's basically what I did. I mostly used the green shades as well as the yellow that I have on my eyes today, because I did want to, you know, have that in my inner corner. And I have to say, the shimmers in this palette in particular are so pretty. Honestly, the shimmers in both palettes are really pretty, but I really like the green shimmer that I used on my lid, and I was very impressed by the lasting power as well. I do find that sometimes with multi-chromes, they tend to crease on my hooded eyes, which I barely had any creasing at all with these palettes, which is really good for me. So I would say I don't really have any complaints. I think they're beautiful palettes. Like, the only things that I would nitpick about is just like the formulas of the different colors, just because I would have preferred that there were, you know, some lighter shimmers and maybe not as many dark shimmers in the palettes, but that is just personal preference. I think that individually all the colors are really pretty, and the formulas are really nice. So I don't really have any complaints. I think it's a beautiful collection. Congratulations to Angelica, of course, for creating it. I know how long it takes to, you know, create a collection like this. Well, not a collection, but I know how long collabs take to create. So, you know, I think she did a fantastic job, and I think that this collection is going to do really well. I don't think that codes are applicable for collaborations. I'm pretty sure they aren't, but if you do plan on picking up anything else from the site, you can use my affiliated code Annette to save some money. But other than that, I think that the money definitely goes to Angelica that would normally, you know, be used for the coats, which makes sense because the collaborators need to make money too. So I think that's going to be my thoughts on the collection. Let me know which look was your favorite. Do you plan on picking this up? Let me know what you feel about the color stories and the lip products and all of that stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some more Odens Eye content, I of course have a playlist. I'll put that right there. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.